Believe it or not,
it's like Uninternational House of Pancakes.
Rhode Island smokers. Rhode Island smokes more weed than every other state. What do you guys think about that?
I think statistics.
Did you see how small Rhode Island is?
Yeah.
Bunch of
There's no
potheads.
There's no way they smoke more than even us.
I don't know. That's what this says. And this is marijuana news from marijuana.com. So who knows better? I mean, if it's on the internet, it's got to be true. Remember? Because here's my date, the French model.
Yeah.
Bonjour.
Here's what I think.
Hayden, you right over there?
Rhode Island likes to take polls.
8 a.m. Comedian Philip Galinsky should be calling in any minute.
Either Rhode Island's not scared of being persecuted, or, people that answer these statistics are people that are those kind of people that want to go up and check a mark on a box.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a statistic from me.
No. I'll give you a statistic.
Yeah.
I am a statistic.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. All these polls and stats.
Here's some more marijuana
Grain of
news.
salt, man. Grain of salt.
More marijuana news. Marijuana seizures on the rise in states bordering Colorado. So it looks like we have Mr. Galinsky calling in right now. So let's bring this up.
Galinsky.
Yep. Philip, good morning. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. You're live on Talk Shit Radio. Appreciate the phone call. You hear me okay, Philip?
Yep.
All right,
Let me
cool.
just turn some.
Yeah, no sweat. We got somewhat of a half-ass setup here going through the phone, so you'll have to excuse us. So, I've been telling these guys about what you've done, and Hayden, he's actually playing Grand Theft Auto right now. Well, not physically right now, but yeah. Why don't you tell us a little about some of that and tell the listeners who you are and introduce yourself.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm an actor, writer, producer, voiceover artist extraordinaire, which I didn't. It's actually a hidden talent I didn't know I had.
So that just manifested, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, I produced an animated game show, a live animated game show on the internet where when the characters talked, the animation's mouth would move. And the people in the chat room were contestants, and this was like during the internet boom.
Right.
So I was all the characters and wrote it, produced it, and then when the boom went bust, I was writing and producing a bunch of stuff, but one of my friends was like, you should do some voiceover stuff because you did that whole show, and I just whatever. So I met an agent, and
the boom busted, and you went up.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's good.
And I actually did a gig, a commercial I did for Publix supermarkets. Do you guys know that supermarket?
Oh yeah, down here in Florida, they're a big chain.
Yeah. So I was the voice for them for 3 years.
Nice, very nice.
So once I got the checks for that, I was like, oh, yeah, voiceover.
Yeah, hey, this works very well.
Yeah, so that helped fund the other projects that I'm doing, and currently a film that I co-wrote and co-produced is having its New York premiere tomorrow night. It's called Forensic Connection, and it's about a sort of a bumbling cop who gets kicked off the force, but then teams up with this kid, and they use Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff to get his career back in line.
I was reading about that. It, and it sounds pretty hilarious. Even the boot camp you got going on?
Yeah, it's like a juxtaposition because the cop is older and he doesn't know the internet, and the kid knows everything about the internet. So
yeah, nice. That sounds pretty good, man. And when does that premiere?
That premieres tomorrow night in New York City.
Tomorrow night, New York City, for those of you that are up there.
Yeah, Helen Mills Theater in Manhattan on 26th Street. But it's a really interesting project because my production team and the production company, Clearbox Pictures, behind it, we came up with the idea. We thought it might be a short. We ended up shooting it, turned into a feature, and we did it just with our own money and resources and all that stuff, and it was very refreshing to do a project where you're not on Indiegogo trying to get people to pay for it.
Sure, absolutely.
Rather than like then you're beholden to them. That what do I owe them? A T-shirt? What did I promise them?
Right, exactly.
We put it together and we're like, no, let's just do it. If we're going to do it, let's do it, because then we don't have to worry about anybody else.
I learned that the hard way, Philip. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and it is because when I looked at it, I'm like, people are like, oh, they're going to give you money, and I'm like, there's way more to it than just getting money.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a whole other animal. Yeah. So the project's great. The director's from the Bronx, so he got interviewed by the local Bronx TV station. So there's a lot of buzz about it, and hopefully we can bring it down to Tampa, or if we're really smart, have everybody steal it from us, and then it'll be a huge success, even though we didn't make a dime.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes, unfortunately, some of the greatest bits that are out there get stolen, and that's exactly the circumstances, certainly, yes.
It's a good marketing tool,
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yep. Public domain sometimes can work for you, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the film. We got a couple other projects in the production queue, a documentary about a boxer, and then another documentary about a guy who's writing a musical about coffee.
About coffee.
So there's a lot of interest about coffee, and a lot of stuff's coming down. Also, I do the Manhattan Monologue Slam, which is how we cast the entire film. So,
is that your reality show? The reality show boot camp? Is that what you're talking about?
It's part of it, yeah.
That is awesome, man. I watched the clip to that. That is awesome.
Yeah. So there's the reality TV school where it's like a boot camp for people that think they can go on reality TV, and it's like classes to get your camera ready.
Yeah.
But also to make sure that you're honest.
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
If you come on the shows and begin to lie, you'll be off the show quicker. People don't realize that. They feel like, oh, I should be lying and making stuff up, and it's like the camera doesn't lie. No.
What they don't realize is the 17 producers that are back off camera that are taking that information, Googling it, running your background, looking who you really are, looking at your Facebook, things of that nature. People don't realize that.
Not to mention, I'm a survival expert. There's no way to really prove that. You could have been in the woods for the last 20 years.
Yeah. Yep.
So what he does is he tests them, and then they starve there where it's nice and safe. They're not in some tropical forest.
Did you hear, Joseph? So they starve there where it's nice and safe, and it's not some tropical forest where you got to worry about them dropping dead on you.
Yeah. And then it's another thing about when you're in the training for the class. It's always the verbiage that's so important, because you're going to get edited anyway.
Right. Yes.
So we train them to speak in the I.
Certainly.
So that they own it.
As a cameraman and as a news reporter, you shoot to edit. So this way, a quick explanation of that is basically you use the camera in a way to where when it goes to edit, you have very minimal editing. So you try to get your performers, I guess, to make it a little editing easy and say the right thing and so on and so forth.
Yeah. A lot of the people that come to the school, they don't know their story.
Yeah.
Like, you need to know your story. You need to know your 30-second elevator pitch. This one guy was like, I want to be on the show because I hate my parents. And we're like,
okay.
I don't hate your parents. If you do, why? He didn't have a good story about it. And he was like, well, I thought that would make good TV. And we're like, no. What makes good TV is if you're honest.
Right.
You are who you are.
Exactly.
Once you start a lie, you can't get out of it.
No, it just spirals out. So let me ask you something. First of all, you're listening to Talk Shit Radio with Philip Galinsky. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yep.
Okay. Comedian, voiceover actor, has done a bunch of work. But now, let me ask you this. Reality TV show, since we're on that subject, and you have the boot camp, What do you think of the direction that some of these shows have taken as far as reality TV show? And I'll just use two as an example. The what is it? Naked and Afraid, the naked dating type shows. What's your opinion on those?
I like Naked and Afraid, actually.
I can't deny the same thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I would never, ever do it.
Come on, that looks like fun.
Yeah, I like bugs crawling up my ass. No,
yeah, no.
That one I can appreciate because it's as real as you're going to get with cameras there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nothing's really real.
Yeah.
There's nothing really real if someone's got a camera on you because that's a filter right there. It's a defense mechanism. It's psychologically proven that, it's not really real if someone's sticking a camera in your face because there's something, it's a heightened experience.
Same with the radio.
But,
yeah.
Yeah. But with the other ones, they're not even reality shows anymore. They're just freak shows. There's
Thank
not.
You. Thank
there's
you.
There's not any kind of arc other than let's see who's going to get upset first. And it's almost like reality TV turned into Jerry Springer TV.
Oh yeah, isn't that the truth? Oh my goodness, some of the shows out there, Philip. Go ahead.
Yeah, the only ones that are reality based are the competition ones because you need real people who are trying to be real singers to do that.
Yeah. Yep. Like but America's Got Talent and those type of shows. Yeah.
It's a game show.
Yeah.
Like the old days, game show. They're just using the word reality TV because the cast is from the mainstream audience.
Yep. And which
get on TV.
Yeah, and in the business you're in, and what you do with this boot camp, which I think is, like I said, I think it's really, really cool, and it was quite amusing to watch the clip. You have a better insight of your opinion of reality TV as opposed to my opinion of reality TV is you have a little more educated opinion to it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, well, when we started, that was the biggest thing when we started, and all these news channels and everybody was reporting. They wanted to bust us like we were snake oil salesmen. You know what I mean?
Really?
And then when because they were like, "Oh, you're teaching people how to lie and get," and then when they came to the boot camp, they realized that no, we're teaching them to be camera ready and know their story. So it was less sexy to them because they wanted to see the conflict and they wanted to see the fighting.
They wanted that Jerry Springer. That's what they wanted.
Yeah, wanted to see us. They basically wanted to see us training guys to become professional wrestlers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, we're training people to find their authentic voice. So when they do get on the show, win or lose, it's going to be good exposure for them.
Yeah.
We had a guy named Jorge Bendersky, who is a dog groomer.
Oh, boy.
There was a reality show on Pet Network or one of these pet shows.
Yeah.
Groom your ass off or whatever.
Right.
And the guy has a really thick Spanish accent. And he was going to all these people, and they were telling him, you got to get rid of it. It doesn't work for TV. And we were like, no, keep it. That's your accent. That's who you are. Why would you change that? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we coached him in a bunch of stuff. He finished second. He didn't even win, but he got a book deal out of it. He got his own line of grooming products. So we're talking about getting on the show and then leveraging the show to your advantage.
Yeah.
Book deal. His accent must have been strong.
That's what most people don't understand.
Joseph just said if he had if he got a book deal, he must have had one hell of an accent. That's for sure. It must have definitely caught people's attention.
But it's I mean, if you look at musicians, if you look at sort of hip hop in general, most of the hip hop artists leverage their hip hop to become a fragrance line, a clothing line, an actor. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
you take one platform to go into another, and that's really what the school is trying to teach you: is be real, be yourself, and other things should come out of it from that experience.
How to market yourself once you become that once you get that little bit of success is basically
Yeah.
And that's what it's really all about, is marketing yourself.
Snooki wrote a book. She's going to fade away, but she's sitting on $1 million. You know.
Yeah.
She's going to be a piece of